From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
You have failed as a Board of Health. There are studies you need to take a look at.
The unrest over Montana's mask mandate continues in Bozeman, where a virtual health meeting lasts nearly 6 hours as those in opposition speak out.
Good evening. The Montana Fair is underway here in Billings, and it's a fair that's going to be a whole lot different. Masks are required at the fair this year. Will COVID-19 keep people away? We'll tell you more in just a moment.
And across Montana, it took 109 days to pass 1,000 confirmed COVID-19 cases and took just 24 days to double that. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on your Friday. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, confirmed and active coronavirus cases growing by the hour across the state. Late this afternoon, Bighorn County reports 34 new positive cases, 21 of those just today and 13 from yesterday. Now, this brings active cases in the county to 114, and now 10 of those residents are in the hospital tonight. Well, Bighorn County is second only to Yellowstone County that reports 40 new cases today. Yellowstone County now with 21 confirmed deaths after another Canyon Creek resident died last night. And Glacier County also reports its first death today. So Montana heads into the weekend with a total of 46 confirmed COVID-19 related deaths. Now, the concern over growing numbers means major changes tonight as Montana Fair 2020 kicks off in Billings. Q2's Krista Rose is standing by live at the fair where gates opened just 90 minutes ago. Good evening, Chris. What can you tell us?
Hey, good evening, Jeanelle from the Montana Fair here at Metro Park. Yeah, gates did open at 4 p.m. We were actually here, and I can tell you there's been a slow stream of people coming in. By my rough estimation, there's only about 150, maybe 200 people here at this first sneak peek weekend. Capacity for the fair is going to be capped at 3,000 every single day at any given time, and that's part of the safety regulations. I'm going to move out of the way and let Justin get a nice look for you guys. The carnival, Thomas Carnival, they have actually spread out their rides throughout the area to give people more room for social distancing. Of course, rides and food are all sort of spread out, and masks are required this year. We've seen almost everybody walking around here with a mask on. The other thing that I wanted to point out is when you actually go on one of these rides, they are spacing you out on the rides and then wiping the rides down once you are off. And then also, your tickets look a lot like this. They have scan bars on them. That helps them keep track of capacity. So that not only tells the folks here at Metro Park how many people are on the grounds at any given time, but you at home can keep up on social media and see what the capacity is and determine whether or not you want to come down here. All in all, it is a small crowd, but the people we have seen seem to be excited. And I have heard that the Viking on a stick is still around, so I might have to find that later. But if you are choosing to come down here, please be safe, take precautions, and if you're not feeling well, please do not come at all. Reporting at Metro Park at the Montana Fair, Krista Rose, back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thanks, Chris. Wearing his mask and taking precautions at Montana Fair 2020. Well, a debate over masks in Gallatin County turned into a virtual battle today as public comment took nearly 6 hours. The Gallatin City County Health Board hearing from the public after an angry crowd shut down the first attempt last week. MTN's Cody Boyer sat in on the entire meeting and tells us what happened.
I'm extremely disappointed in all of our leaders for overreaching.
Now in two ways, face coverings are required in specific indoor public locations by Governor Steve Bullock's statewide directive and by a not unanimous vote by the Gallatin City County Board of Health. For the first hour, Health Officer Matt Kelly addressed the room and dozens of others listening online.
I've heard the term criminal negligence. I've heard worse things that I won't mention here.
From new surveillance testing for asymptomatic cases at MSU to the other vote which passed, extending self-isolation for close contacts or confirmed cases, Kelly walked us through slides, eventually leading to item number 1, face coverings.
This virus has killed 141,000 Americans. Some may seek to minimize or marginalize that fact. I will not.
Seth Walk, MSU Associate Professor of Microbiology and Immunology, detailed the science behind masks, how they stop virus-carrying droplets from spreading. But when the microphone opened for public comment, it stayed that way for hours.
Matt Kelly stated there are documented cases of asymptomatic transmission.
Where is your evidence?
You have failed as a board of health. There are studies you need to take a look at.
The majority of more than 40 were against masks. That included Board of Health member Joe Skinner after public comment.
I think voting to pass this local rule will only drive a wedge further into the division.
Several, like Elizabeth Wolf, were for.
I understand that not everybody can wear one. There are allowances for that, but that doesn't mean that the mass majority should not be wearing them.
Chair Becky Frank says more than 2,000 public comments came by email, adding most supported masks, including having kids K through 12 wear them. A divided line that Kelly says has become a difficult topic for both sides.
I am worried about our ability to do it. There are not very many options.
In Gallatin County, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
And Kelly says it was also made clear that whether this passed or not, Governor Bullock's order is still in effect. The board also voted to extend the self-isolation period for those infected or close contacts by 90 days. Well, in the midst of rising cases, Malmstrom Air Force Base near Great Falls is looking to better protect its crew. Local military members are no longer allowed to enter public establishments where food or drink are consumed. That includes restaurants, bars, nightclubs, and casinos. Military members can still use takeout services or briefly enter dining establishments for pickup orders. Now, Malmstrom discussed its response to coronavirus during a Facebook town hall meeting last night. During the meeting, Colonel Jennifer Reeves revealed that Malmstrom sends its case numbers to the United States Air Force as part of the current Department of Defense policy. Now, Reeves further explained, saying, quote, "It's not that we're trying to hide the truth, but the release of the cumulative numbers could indicate an opportunity for an adversary to exploit a potential vulnerability." We're also learning tonight more about Canyon Creek Memory Care in Billings, where so far 15 residents have died due to COVID-related illness since July 6th. The facility was most recently inspected for renewal in 2019 and was given a 3-year license set to expire in April of 2022. A spokesperson for Montana Department of Health and Human Services says when it comes to complaints regarding a facility, the state will opt for an added inspection. However, he didn't specify if there were any recent or pending complaints as the outbreak continues. We've also tracked inspection complaints from this facility since it opened in 2013. That information is online right now at ktvq.com. Well, for many people, the thought of getting a positive result on a coronavirus test is daunting and unknown. MTN's Jessica Nelson recently sat down with one young woman who not only tested positive but had severe symptoms and says there's a stigma surrounding this virus, one that she wishes wasn't there.
It was puzzling for me to tell people, oh, I tested positive, and rather than their response being, oh my goodness, like, how are you feeling? Are you okay? As opposed to, no, they're just more worried about, oh, well, where did you get it? What were you doing when you did it? Like, what were you doing? Because obviously you were somewhere you shouldn't have been.
Katie said there was no way for her to know where, when, or even how she got the coronavirus.
We're past that point in the level of community spread we're at now, where I don't really think it's a matter of pointing fingers, and it was just really kind of disheartening to see how many people were more worried about, like, who can I blame for this?
But she did get it. She described the impact on her body and concerns about the lasting effects.
I was super, super tired. The chest pressure just started intensifying a lot. Feverish, body aches, headaches. The headache lasted for the longest. I still get intermittent headaches, but definitely just very feverish, chills. But I'm more so worried about the long-term effects from this, because it's been 3 weeks and I still get winded walking up and down stairs and doing very simple everyday tasks.
Katie wanted to share her story with me because she wants people to know with this disease comes a lot of uncertainty, and she's urging others to take steps to protect themselves.
Masks, masks, masks. I know people are so sick of hearing about it, but I wish I had been more diligent about it beforehand, and I wasn't. I had the mindset of, I'm young, I'm 23, I'm not going to get it. I just wasn't being as careful as I should have been.
In Helena, Jessica Nelson, MTN News.
Thanks, Jessica, and thanks to Katie for sharing her story. A stunned silence on the MSU Billings campus. That's how one administrator describes a reaction to yesterday's sudden announcement that Chancellor Dan Edelman is stepping down. Edelman is leaving his post to attend to a serious medical condition. Provost Melinda Arnold says the chancellor made an impact that will be remembered for a long time, always with the focus on students. She says Edelman will be greatly missed, but that they will, in her words, marshal on.
We have a strong team, and I think Dr. Edelman should be recognized for that as well. He built a strong senior administrative team who are solid and we're stable and we're moving forward. School starts on August 19th and we're ready to go.
And Arnold says she is confident that Edelman's replacement will also be someone who meets the needs of students and the community. Well, up next on tonight's 5:30 News, 30 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act passed. We'll show you the impact it's still making today. And in sports, let's go racing. Scott joins us from the Great American Championship Hill Climb in South Billings.
And coming up in weather, we do see some showers and thunderstorms doing an end run around the Billings area. You can see them right here. But is there any more showers out there? Well, we'll talk about it coming up in a few more minutes.